You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
We are all still pining for the pile. I get it. It was a COVID t-shirt making fun of people who believe COVID is a real thing.
Bottom line, all they care about is money.
I want to go to a fucking bar.
Peeing, trying to cover my entire body with my car. There it is.
Oh.
British cuisine. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 400.
400!
Yeah! That's what I like to hear. Yes, episode 400, spectacular. I'm your host, as always, John Danger, joined by my true blue co-hosts.
Matt, we're pulling out all the stops for 400 Hague.
TJ doesn't know how to pull out May. I'm the one with kids.
You do have like a shitload of kids.
Yeah. Would you like to buy one? Like $5.
$5?
$5.
Yeah.
Buy one of my kids.
It seems like a good deal, but you don't realize how much maintenance costs, you know?
Yeah.
So you're losing money over time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're closer to 18 than a baby, and you don't have to deal with baby time.
There is that. Every time I hear new parents talk about how terrible it is to have brand new kids, I'm very happy that I don't. Like, just not sleeping for like a year and a half. Cool.
Depends on the kid.
Weirdly enough,
fall asleep.
Weirdly enough, the endorphins intentionally make you forget.
Yeah.
Both the mother and the father, and that's why people have multiple kids.
Yeah, there's a movie that I keep meaning to get around to watch called Mom and Dad, starring I think Nicolas Cage, but it's like a virus causes parents to lose that endorphin thing, so they just have all the rage of like being a parent without any of the good feelings, and they start murdering like a lot. I think it's on Amazon right now.
Yeah, that sounds like an Amazon original. I mean, in this case, I don't think it's an original, but
I don't remember. But it's
this is our 400th episode, guys.
Yeah. Never missed a week in 400 years or whatever.
You know what the crazy part is? Wait, did I miss an episode once? No, I don't think so. I said you guys should do an episode.
We tried. It's hard. I don't like doing stuff. Because with you here, all I have to do when I get bored is stop talking, and you'll just like start shopping or something, and talk about that for like half hour.
It's true. So I just clicked on Woot.com. Have you guys been there in a while? They got stuff on sale.
I didn't even know that was still around.
Goddamn Woot.com.
Ooh, Samsung TVs, my choice. Well, they got bought by Amazon.
Wait, I thought, wasn't Woot a t-shirt company?
No, they have t-shirts, but they also sell like random shit in electronics. But it was a $550 factory reconditioned 55-inch 4K TV.
Hey, Matt, get rid of your Chiron.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
get rid of the Chiron. We're started.
I think technically that's a scroll. A Chiron is the bottom part of the screen.
So I get the 60-inch TV for $825.
Okay.
I don't need another TV. I need to stop shopping. You're right. I approved your point. So,
all right.
What are you guys' thoughts?
Okay, first of all, I know what I planned for this, and I'll keep that as a surprise for last. But what are your secret surprises for the 400th episode?
I don't really have much secret surprises. I did pull a Reddit ships, which John at least knows about because I DM'd him on Twitter.
I don't think I read very detailed because I wanted to be surprised by it, but I read the intro sentence and I was intrigued. So
I also have complaints about current online hiring practices and scams in the employment time, or scams in trying to find employment, which I've dealt with about 3 of them so far, personally, in the past 2 weeks. So I could actually go through some of that. Otherwise, I've really just been playing Rocket League the past week and a half and working on getting my Final Fantasies.
Nice.
Meeting.
Oh, yes, you've been streaming, yeah.
And John, what have you been working hard on all week for our 400th episode spectacular?
Actual work.
Yeah, I went back to work because I have to work, but I bought a car.
Okay.
It's a Toyota.
And my surprise
nice.
is this control knob in the shape of a portal cake. That's definitely not just something I had sitting around on my desk. So here's a cake. Blow out the candle. Make a wish.
Matt, I saw that on your Insta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put it on my
you
Finsta.
spoiled it. So I'm just going to go on the website, borninthE80s.net. The
Search
first
some
Born in
comments.
the 80s podcast ever recorded right here is March 5th, 2011. But what's the fact about that you guys should remember?
It's episode 0.
It's episode 0.
That John's the only one that's been on every episode, or that episode got featured on like the front page of iTunes.
That's right.
That's also true. But you guys know a lot of cool facts about it, other than the fact that technically
It's the second time that you tried to do it, right?
yes, but technically this is the 10th year of Born in the 80s, because we recorded our first episode in December of 2010. And then it took me until March to get it uploaded.
Okay.
So this is the inaugural episode of Born in the 80s, originally recorded in December 2010. I finally got off my lazy ass to put this thing together. This is patient zero, if you will, of a show I do with my best friend every week. I think of it as if you're a fly on the wall of a room full of two people talking about complete bullshit. But since you're a fly, you don't see that spider crawling behind you, and you are devoured. That is Born in the 80s in a nutshell.
That hasn't changed.
Let's see if I can download the episode. If I click the download link, let's see if that still works.
So in honor of our
Definitely
400th
still
episode,
worked.
we're gonna just delete all previous episodes to totally expunge any potentially problematic things that we've said in the past 10 years. And
You know who we didn't contact to try and get on this episode? And it's not who you're thinking of. It's Mercury.
that is who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I should have probably thought of that.
Yeah.
Normally
Because-
she's like super busy, but like, I mean, it's COVID times, so what the fuck else does she have to do?
What is Mercury was on the podcast for
Probably good
2
years
ish,
maybe 2.5.
But looking at the podcast, we have second episode was Lustfully Yours, Miss Anita Saeed,
Yes.
which of course was
Our oldest fan. And
our
realist,
oldest fan. Yes,
Our oldest realist
definitely
fan.
not a fake email. But that has reminded me to check our email address, which is bitecast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of emails from Podcorn since I signed up for that, I think a while ago.
You did sign up for Podcorn. I remember that.
And it just says there's Podcorn is like a advertisement thing for you to like advertise, but it's like for mom and pop type podcasts that don't have like huge listener bases like ours. But I did get an email from Pete at podscribe.ai. Pete Berzinger. Hi there. Or hey there, sorry. I immediately said the wrong word. I noticed that Born in the 80s is gaining traction, so I'd figured I'd reach out with a way to continue growing your audience. As you probably already know, many podcasters rely on transcriptions for helping new listeners find the show when searching on Google, creating blog posts, books, or other content to promote their show, letting listeners search through or read each episode's content. With state-of-the-art accuracy, we can automatically email you an episode transcript minutes after release. You can embed them on your site with our SEO-friendly transcript player to unlock their value, helping new listeners find your show. If interested, check out our free sample transcript for Born in the 80s. I really want to click this, but I also don't want to click this.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna click it. It's the 400th episode.
We have been using Otter.ai every now and then just to play with it.
I clicked it.
But we technically could also use YouTube's auto-generated captions.
Holy shit, dude. So I just clicked the link, and it took me to podscribe.ai.
Okay.
And it says, sample transcript requested. We are emailing the RSS feeds owner, bitecast@gmail.com, the transcript of episode Born in the 80s 398, Poison Salad.
Ooh.
Got it. So
Good
let's see
episode.
how long it takes them. It is 2 hours and 36 minutes. let's see.
We'll see if they come back to us by the time we're done with this podcast.
Yeah.
Everything else is just Podcorn. I got an email from Crimson K9 Dog Training and Sales thanking for joining them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who sent our email out to that in July, but that happened. Wait, July 29th, 2019. So that was a while ago, actually.
Okay.
Ever thought about monetizing your podcast? Says Amy
never.
Domestico. Customer success manager she is. But emails from actual people, nothing.
Okay.
We probably should mention what the email address is if we actually want people to do that. But we never do. So.
It's free dick pics at bornintheeighties.com.
Here we go. Hi, this is from Raluca Papa.
Yes. I was waiting for this one.
Yeah. Big fan.
Hey, John. How's it going? This is Raluca from T Public, a company dedicated to helping communities, content creators, and influencers engage their audiences. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I love
the work. I love the work. Well, this is not a person. This is just like a fucking bot written email. I love the work you're doing. I wanted to chat about expanding your brand and increasing your fan engagement through a T Public collaboration. We already have successful relationships with other content creators. I'm confident we could achieve the same. To get started or find out more information, click our sign up link here, which goes to mlink.tpublic.com. So that's probably a real thing. Just let me know when you finish signing up so I can approve you quickly. We can get started selling your new merch.
I know that it's technically what we are, but I really hate the phrase content creator. And I wish I would stop here.
Yeah. I really hate like the fact that like you get when you have like a podcast and RSS feeds and stuff, you'll just get emails from people trying to like sell you all these like opportunities. And it's like such.
That's why you need to have
they've never listened to the podcast.
You have to have a fake email that you register the RSS feed with and then have a real email that you mention in the episodes.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't really care because we don't get that many emails from that. But like, it's just funny that it's just like, all of these things are just so obviously nobody has ever listened.
It's so easy to just like from the RSS feed, you get the person's name, you get the title of the show, you get the contact email. So you can just write a script that peels all that off and sends 1,000 emails.
Yeah, that's something you can do in Python. Super, super easy. I say
so
that
we've got,
not knowing Python.
Here's another Born in the 80s prediction that happened. Born in the 80s, episode 2, David Tennant squashing 3 small French bulldogs is the name of that episode. In this episode, Atlantis is discovered, and we find out that Mrs. Neptunia is a bit of a bitch with a capital B. Mercury causes the death of thousands of puppies unwittingly.
Oh, shit. Foreshadowing.
Oh, no.
Oh, you guys knew. You knew even back then.
Mm-hmm. We also reply to Miss Anita Said. And cock shotguns are invented and distributed, and the distribution of such weapons is foiled by the police. Born in the 80s, episode 3, French Canada. I thought you were freaky. This is outfitted in the finest new recording equipment that tax return money could buy. Our true intrepid 80s knots decide to peruse the news. That's it. Pudgy men are paid to belly flop for a living. Women hide illicit substances in odd places. And French Canada refuses to be freaky. Anita Said responds to a request for love with a caps lock infested letter from a local bank. All this and more in the Born in the 80s third outing. So that was when we finally got like decent recording equipment.
Yeah.
And I actually set up the little mini studio.
You finally picked out the finest Behringer microphones.
Who is the very first guest on Born in the 80s?
Well, I just looked, so I just found it out. But it's kind of who I expected. Because wasn't he on 2 episodes?
Is it Jay?
No.
Is it Tony?
It is Tony.
Okay.
Tony Trout.
Your first guest wasn't even born in the 80s?
Correct.
You pile of garbage.
Local theater magnate Tony Trout. It says, this week our hosts are joined by a Mr. Tony Trout. He was not born in the 80s, but his heart is in the right place. And that was pretty cool. We got our very first listener email. We discussed our favorite stage roles, all that. So that was when the show really started taking off.
My email wasn't read until episode 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe episode 7. I think it was after I listened to episode 6.
Who was the second guest in Born in the 80s?
Was it me?
No.
Was it Jay?
No, it's someone who was not really on the podcast that very much, but is
was
at
it
least
your
once a
brother?
year. It's someone who's on once a year.
I'm not answering because I scrolled up.
Yes. My wife then.
My wife.
My wife.
All right, and who is the third guest ever on Born in the 80s?
I'm losing interest in this game.
I'm not looking up, but this time. So
give me a guess.
Is this one Jay?
Why do you guys keep guessing Jay?
Because I know he was a guest early.
Okay, who's been on a lot of episodes of Born in the 80s?
Was it
Lance.
me?
Yes, correct. It was Lance. And then Lance was on most of the episodes after that.
Because you just couldn't get rid of him.
Drunk girls are the weaklings of the zebra pack. Let me explain that to you. The grease is the gravy. Classic line.
That is a classic line.
Lance was on that episode as well. Pig Power. What is it? 11, Satan's extended warranty. So that was Adam and Lance and I Adam Lance and I did a lot of episodes.
Wait, hold up. Episode 7? Even way back when you guys talked about BK Kids Club?
That's possible.
It's a thread that runs through this whole thing.
All the while, Adam tries to decide whether the BK Kids Club or Extreme Ghostbusters is more diverse.
That's true. They're both icons of diversity in the early 90s.
Because I know we brought it up about 40 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it was sooner. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is this podcast was so different back in the day.
Yeah.
It was a different flavor. Teacher dresses up as Mark Twain but forgets to wear the pants. John's 5th grade music class induces a Vietnam flashback, and that was a real story. If you go back and listen to that. Modern retelling of Top Gun would be flawed fundamentally, though U.S. military planes still have kick-ass names. In rural America, everyone drinks and drives. We discuss the mechanics of getting a blowjob while walking. And how awesome it is to stick your torso out of a sunroof. Ghost ride an ATV dirty and become a living god. Meet Jack Hardcase, NBC CEO. Remember, Patricia is the worst female name. Links more after the break. Yeah, the show was a lot weirder back then because Adam and I used to do improv and stuff together, and so it was real goofy.
Yeah,
and
it was very fanciful.
Lance would join in the goofiness. And now it's much more of it's like I've stopped being fun.
Yeah, well, you are old. You are old.
No, it's because when you think about that was 2011, and so that was 9 years ago. So I was 25 when I was doing that.
Well, yeah, and also we used to have to imagine absurd situations and circumstances. Now they're just in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I want to bring some of that back to the podcast.
I mean, we're all
the fancifulness.
We are all still pining for the pile. I get it.
Yes. Pining for the pile, yes. So to reminisce, that was the garbage trash pile that Adam would have in his house. Man,
there's an episode titled "Pining for the Pile," right?
That was it. Because when he moved away, I talked about I was pining because I used to hang out at Adam and Lance's apartment.
Yep.
And that's where we had the podcast recording equipment all set up. And I would go over with my laptop on Saturdays, and we'd stay up till 7 a.m. watching shit afterwards. And they would smoke chimneys.
Yep.
And we were just it was fucking Joe Rogan experience. It was cigarettes and shit, just chatting. I mean, especially with Lance in it.
Yep.
And then, but anyway, it's a different show now, and I do want to thank my two current co-hosts for joining me. We've had a lot of turnover in the co-host department. I feel like Matt's probably been on the most episodes out of anyone besides me now.
I think so, yeah. Have I been on more than Adam?
I think so. Yeah, because Adam dipped around episode 150 or something, I think.
Okay. And then it was really just John and Lance for the longest time. And then
it was John, Lance, and Mercury for a while.
Yep.
And then Lance made Mercury mad, and then Mercury left the podcast.
Yeah.
Who brought?
I really picked the wrong person.
Who brought the strip club mother onto the podcast?
That was Mercury.
Yep. Okay.
That was a great episode as well.
Yes, it was.
Weirdness.
That was when you were like experimenting with being the Howard Stern show. Just
exactly. Well, that was the Lance because he was way into Howard Stern. He hates Howard Stern now because Howard Stern's liberal. So
yeah,
I could tell it was turning when he was like, "I'm into Opie and Anthony now."
Oh no!
Damn it!
Oh, that sucks.
I don't even know what Opie and Anthony are.
Episode
but
52 in 2012. Someone dies. That was an episode.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Adam is killed.
Literally killed. Yeah.
Yes.
Or at least in podcast lore. So why haven't we had our special guest Keegan Michael Key back on?
He's got a lot of stuff going on.
He doesn't live around here.
Yeah, he totally would. He doesn't have Discord, so
okay, that's fair. I mean, it has been almost 8 years since he's been on.
Yeah.
Check this out. Born in the 80s, 55. I don't have a ruler, okay? This is in July 11, 2012. This is when the podcast changed a little bit.
Yep.
Because this was back when we had a guest on when Mercury joined. And so John defends Brett Favre's dick pics. The guys discuss everything sexual and taboo. Mercury brings it to this extremely explicit episode of Born in the 80s. Also, John cheats at measuring, and Mercury barely finishes the story. Warning, Mercury brings the explicitness in spades. She is a share everything kind of gal. I translated that, obviously.
Yes. Good job.
Yes. Well, I'm trying here, all right? It's hard. It's sometimes when I slip up, I do apologize, because I'm reading from 2012, fucking 8 years ago.
It was a different time.
That is when Lance and Mercury and I were doing the show, because that I feel like that's when Adam left.
Well, yeah. Well, after he got killed, he was gone for a while until he figured out how to do it over the internet.
Born in the 80s, 60. You just killed Bill Nye. This is Mercury makes a few verbal gaffes and tell the story about how she stabbed herself in the head and basically bled all over everything. Oh, did I mention this is Adam's final appearance? Also, the song is pronounced Rev Illy. The song John was thinking of is known as Taps. I must have mentioned that in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was episode. So Adam was on for only like 60 episodes regularly in the show because he moved to Illinois. And we were sharing an apartment for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And then we went on with John, Lance, and Mercury for a while, and had a lot. And that was back when Mercury was all about creating a podcast network.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, this is like the little
we
podcast.
Still have the
start.
name, but nothing else.
Yep.
I mean,
wait,
but
I still always refer back to Born in the 80s 42, the Knock the Dust Out of the Attic, which, first of all, Knock the Dust Out of the Attic is referring to not engaging in coitus for a while, but that's the episode where you guys were talking about writing your own next young adult book trilogy to make lots of money. Back when, before we were, because I haven't listened to our recordings in a while, but you use just a kind of a base version of the theme song right now, right? You don't have you don't pull in clips anymore. But we had a version. There was a version of the theme song that had specific voice clips in there, and we kept using that one for the longest time. And one of them was, "We're not trying to."
It was we're trying to exploit a generation or something.
Trying to exploit a generation, yeah. And it took me probably took me about a week and a half to find that episode and figure out which one it was.
Yeah.
But
oh god, I remember how fucking long it took to put that intro together. I had to listen to so much shit.
Yeah.
So Lance was on the show. It was Lance and me for a long time after Mercury left. Then we have episode 118, Born in the 80s 118, The Hamger Games. One of the first episodes in which I started doing MS Paint pictures of the podcast, and I photoshopped, and by photoshopped I mean MS Paint clipped Adam's face over what's her name from Hunger Games as the picture.
Yeah, Katniss.
And so that was that was the first like let's talk over Skype, or it was I think Google. But then Lance was on again, so that was just not a all-time thing. Oh yeah, there was Adam the Companion episode when I drove down to Illinois. I would kind of do that once a year for a while.
Yep.
Here's natural born catfisher. John and Mercury go catfishing, and there's a little picture of Mercury with her like Mercury Stardust makeup on that. A little prelude to that there, but. Yeah, and then this about this episode 128, 127. It's kind of every other episode. It was like Lance and John, or John and Adam via the internet. We were kind of because Lance was kind of like he didn't live with us anymore, so he'd have to drive over to do the show.
Yeah,
and then after that, Lance kind of stopped being on the show, and it was just me and Adam over the internet, basically.
Yeah.
For the out to dinner episode 134. John has a harrowing steak experience at TGI Fridays at the excellent Jack Daniel's Grill. That was when I almost choked on a steak in TGI Fridays. Yeah, so that was it.
You guys remember restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
Restaurants.
Yeah, holy shit.
Man.
Like,
do you think we'll ever go to a restaurant again? Probably not.
I know, right? Well, I'm probably going to die of COVID before then, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing like all these outlier cases of like this guy was 23 years old and he was a marathon runner and he was dead in 4 days. And I'm like, great, cool. Thanks, internet.
So this is 2015. Now we're at episode 171. I'm reminded of a quick Computergate update 2015.
Oh,
that was
goddamn! I remember that.
Was in the shop forever. We've got. And this is actually 161, I think, might have been the first one. Born in the 80s, 161. Yeah, that's when I started making an image with the episode title and podcast name as like the header for each one. So there was John Cena's of the Forest was then. But the 2015 was when my computer was like in the shop for like 7 months. And it's the computer I'm currently using, so whatever they did fixed it. And then Born in the 80s 182, Completergate. Finally, I moved to my new apartment, which is the apartment I lived before I bought this house. And
I was there. I visited her once.
Yeah, and then I don't know, but yeah, this is still John and Adam on the phone. And it's still 192 Sleepaway Hamp.
Mm-hmm.
Still me and Adam. So there was a really long time where it was just me and Adam over the internet. And I kind of wish that we still had him on the show. So maybe we should try and bring Adam back.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get him back for 420.
Well, we have to.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to click through and I'm going to find out when the next host change was.
Well, I was at 225. So
yeah, we're getting pretty close here.
We're getting close. There's a little bit of stuff in between.
Yeah, still John and Adam up to like 211, it looks like. All right, here we go. I'm looking at here, we've got Born in the 80s 223 Mega VR Mat EX. So that's a World of Warcraft, episode 214. How much does John know about WoW lore? John and Matt talk all things Blizzard, Nintendo, and cats chewing on cables.
When was that?
That was in May 2016.
Okay.
How little did we know?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about 2016. That year feels like an eon ago. It was 3.5 years ago, or whatever that was back then. Oh my god. And then looking through this, it looks like
crap. Well, I'm not near
Koozie Corner. The Koozie Chronicles, when I read my journal from middle school.
It's free Slurpee Day today.
Oh, damn it. I got to quit the podcast and go get a Slurpee.
Born in the 80s 218, The Sausage Factory also has Matt.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly when that happened, but sometime in 2016 I got dumped and I was like, I don't have anything to do. I guess I'll be a regular on John's podcast. Cool.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to fill every moment with something so I didn't kill myself.
And during
I'm glad I could be your therapist.
During the earlier half of the year, I'd been speeding through at about 1.5 times speed going through the episodes, trying to catch up and listen to all this stuff. And then when I caught up, that's when I ended up reaching out to John.
Yeah.
So this is John and Matt and Adam now at this point. We got episode 222, The Bet. John is ready to begin his illustrious mukbang career. Matt is a budding sourdough artist. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And
Turns
Adam's
out that's
all
a
up in
lot
anime
of,
this week.
pain in the ass work and upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The guys make bold Nintendo NX predictions. So
I remember
Nintendo
that.
Switch.
That was the code name for the Switch, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and then Matt's got his Vive that he bought. Matt's drunken purchasing decisions led him to an HTC Vive.
Yeah, and I paid it off by 2019.
Skunk Ape Vigoda. That's a really good episode title. And then here we go. Born in the 80s, 233. I'm just skipping pages here. Is this TJ? When did you start?
225.
225. Okay, yeah. So at this point, Adam was basically... I don't know what was happening with Adam's life at this point, but he kind of was talking about how he was trying to get his shit together, basically, because he was needing to not be single anymore, is what he wanted to. I think this is the point at which he came out to me as being bisexual, which I was not surprised at all, having lived with him for a while and being a friend. But I was like, that's cool. This is when TJ joined. And then the podcast kind of became... you said 223, you said?
225.
225, and that's correct. I have
the
it right
flooding.
here. The flooding.
Yep.
And TJ joins us. And then immediately the next episode is hashtag hack the menu.
Yep.
So that's what TJ has brought to the show in all the years. And then basically it was Matt, TJ, and I for a while, with Adam sometimes slotting himself in when he was available to come.
And me having tech issues about every 3 weeks.
Yes, because you were using weird connection.
Yep. Oh, I loved 227 podcast metastability event where we just talked about all the ways the universe is going to kill us.
Yes. So John and Adam have some episodes. We got Zelda, The Legend of Zelda here.
Oh, that's right. That's my
episode title.
My cross-dressing Zelda.
The Underclean. Remember the Underclean?
Oh, yes.
The bidet we wanted to buy.
Get that under.
So, exactly. You got to get that Underclean. At this point, it was just TJ and Matt, and then sometimes Adam, and then Adam slowly kind of
faded away.
Faded out because I stopped
like a
making
force
him
ghost.
show up. Yeah, he's still alive. Do you remember Al Kelchner and Willow Creek Farm, Matt?
Oh, that guy.
Oh,
the Ghost Hunt? Yeah.
Yes, born in the 80s, special ghost adventure at Willow Creek Farm.
That was my favorite thing we did on the podcast, probably.
And shut out the door when you get back.
I listened to it. It was great.
My wife's getting me a water.
It was so much fun.
That was weird. And then we got Melissophilia, episode 250. That's 250. There's 150 episodes ago.
Remember the Saturday Night Bites?
Yes.
Pop in the middle of all this.
I think, I'm trying to find when that started.
I found it.
That was the very first one, Saturday Night Bite. So that was, Lance still kind of wanted to do the show, but he didn't really have a way to do show over the internet. So he was like, hey, I'll just come over and hang out and we'll record an episode. So that's kind of how we did it. We got a We Are Number One reference here.
I just realized that 249, when we talk about all the Switch stuff that got announced, we don't have it in the description, but that's when I got robbed.
Oh, yeah. New Donk City, yeah.
Yep.
Hot Pokemoms. That's a good episode title.
Yep.
It's been probably 150 episodes with just this crew here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes Lance doing a weekend episode, but I don't think that's going to happen again anymore. Because he's a different person now. Nunkles the Enchilada.
Oh, yep.
I think that's an episode with Spanky and Ewan. Because TJ...
That's right, yep.
So this is the whole history of the podcast. That's what I was trying to go over. Because we haven't really done this ever. Even in episode 300 or whatever. But this is when TJ kind of became friends with Spanky and Ewan, who did a podcast, kind of somewhat like, what was the name of that podcast?
Cool Games Inc.
Cool Games Inc. Where they kind of made their own Cool Games Inc. spin-off podcast. And they were, and then he like wanted them to be guests on our podcast, and I think you guested on theirs once or something.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was cool. And then was still just me, TJ, and Matt for a while after that. And then I think Spanky showed up a couple times. I'm trying to think of when Spanky kind of became a regular.
It was quite a bit later.
It was whenever we had a Discord that we could pester him on.
Adam was on episode in 2018.
When we started,
we talked about The Last Jedi.
When we started posting on Twitch, we then would sometimes he'd be in the chat like, "Hey, you just want to join our call?"
Oh yeah, right.
That's kind of how that started.
So that's a lesson to anybody that's listening. If you want to be on the show, you just have to show up enough.
Yeah,
basically,
that's true.
Yeah.
You really just have to be dedicated to showing up once a week to record.
Yeah. 271, I think, is the one we did in person. Then, right?
That's possible because I had my.
So everyone's live in the house. Buzz tweeting is drunk tweeting.
Trying to find the other famous one. Boy, it was probably right around this time, but the Bachelor cast.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Batch cast.
Where is that from? I'm trying to think of what that is. Because I got married in 2018, so it had to have been early in 2018. I'm in March 2018. I don't see it.
When was your anniversary?
May 19th, 2018. So it was a couple weeks before then. I don't see it on here. TJ, help me find it. You're the podcast historian.
Yeah, I'm going through. I actually went through it page by page. So
here it is. I'm sorry, it's not called Bachelor Cast. That's why we couldn't find it. It was Bachelor from the 80s. Too drunk to care.
That sounds right.
And that's when we had a lot of people on. My brother Lance was back. Adam was back. Matt
guy
was
that
there.
sold razors.
TJ couldn't make it. Or you were there.
I was there.
TJ was there.
You were there.
I can't remember. There was something where you had to leave at some point or arrive late or something. I don't remember. Yeah. But I remember you cooked us steaks. And
Lance cooked steaks, didn't he?
No, TJ did with the Modern Rogue episode recipe or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Well, either way, we had great steaks that were cooked.
That was in the oven. Yeah, I did the ones in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just, and then through like 2018, it was still just the three of us. So we've been together doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
a good 3 years. I'm just trying to see when the next host change happened and when Spanky was on a lot more. And it's actually, he's not been on a lot.
I think that was fairly recent.
No, I mean, he's been... once he was consistent, he's been on more than he's been off.
It was probably just since we started playing WoW Classic together.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably been only about a year or so.
Yeah.
That he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah. So, and he's not here tonight.
He had to go to Applebee's or whatever and get into a fist fight.
Yeah, so it's probably been about a year that Spanky's been on the podcast. So, but we do appreciate him being here. I do. I don't know if you guys do.
No, I mean, we got him. He was on Mickey Quickie, episode 342, which was February 2019, but he wasn't on the next one after that.
Yeah, he was a little spotty at first, but it's pretty much been weekly since like. I need to turn my thing on. It's too hot.
Ooh, the Jorts tree.
All right.
Oh,
sorry. It just gets hot in this fucking room. And then that's kind of where we're at now, up to episode 400. So that's kind of been the show. So this has been the format for the majority of the show, I'd say.
Yeah. Sort of like a loosely followed Google Doc that we kind of look at sometimes.
Oh, man, we haven't looked at that in a while, have we?
No, we haven't.
Man. So, yeah. And then I think you had mentioned this earlier, but this podcast got put on the front page of Apple.
Yep.
Yeah, almost right away.
Right away.
It was episode 1,
it got 10,000 downloads in the first week, and it was crazy. And it really sucks that I wish the podcast would have been better at the start, because I feel like we would have a bigger listenership now. But I am also happy that happened, because we do have a few listeners like Justin and Breton that have been around for like 10 years at this point. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
And they still listen. Like it's interesting to think we got people that care about that for that long. So I do appreciate all of our listeners.
Or you just listen long enough to be on the podcast, like me.
Like a couple people, yeah.
You live long enough to become the villain.
That's right. I mean, that's kind of how a lot of shows work. You know, you hang around enough, and eventually you're like, you should come on.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have other fans.
And then if you're on enough, and then you become like indisposable, then you're a permanent part of the show now. Wow.
Exactly. Well, like I know I'd like to have Jordan on the show. Jordan Jiggins, who joined our Discord. In May. He was a roommate of mine in college for a while. So my freshman year, he wasn't a roommate, but we basically spent the entire year in each other's rooms. So we're basically roommates.
Wink. I'll remember him once I hear his voice.
Yeah. He was in the music department as well. But he dropped out of college and went. I think he got a technical degree somewhere else, making more money than I do. So
fucking jealous.
Made the right choice. So yeah, but he lives in Reedsburg, I think, just north of here. So we should have him on, because I'm sure he can record over. Discord.
I'm gonna give Beta Raccoon their role now that's been long enough.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know.
Is there a way to find out who people are?
I only hang out with alpha raccoons. By the way, this is us talking about the Discord, so that's at YOLO420.com/born in the 80s, all lowercase.
Yeah, we need to get a better link with that, because that confuses people, because 420 is numbers and 80s is spelled out and whatnot. But anyway, it might be related to Beta Clip, who's in our Discord. I don't know. Not 100% sure. If I click on Beta Raccoon, I notice that when I go to their profile, I don't have any mutual servers, so I'm not anywhere else with them, and I'm on a bunch of servers, like way too many.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I go ahead and a lot of times people will use the same username on Discord that they'll use anywhere else. So I'll do just a quick Google search, and I don't think I saw anything. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm doing a Bing search right now, because I gotta get them points. I've got enough for a $10 Xbox card right now.
Woo!
But nothing's popped up directly for Beta Raccoon, all one word.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the Discord is definitely the best place to hang out now, and it's probably one of the coolest apps that exists now, because it allows us to record the podcast better than what we were. Remember when we were using like fucking Google Hangouts?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, that sucked so much ass. So now it's so much better on Discord. Discord's not perfect, but it's nice to have like a place where we can kind of like have our own like forums where people can chat. You know, we can keep connected with our audience. It's a really cool app. Even better than a website. Like I feel like you wouldn't even need a website to do a podcast now.
Yeah.
You literally just have an RSS feed and a Discord and then maybe a Patreon. But like back in the day, it was like, oh, I gotta have a website where you post every episode. Now I feel like the website's so ancillary, like it's not even important.
No,
so I've like
really
stopped updating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what's the point? Like nobody goes to the episode to find it, and nobody goes to the website to find a podcast.
And it's not like people use forums anymore. You know, Discord and Facebook are the way to go. But even then, Facebook's kind of dying. We see that most of our interactions on Discord and Twitter at this point. But either way, you know, I've been as much as I've been super spacey when it comes to, I guess, performing on this podcast. I've also been working my ass off to try and, get our user engagement up a little bit, and not in terms of just like
you're kind
this
of like
is a person.
You're kind of like our community manager,
basically. Keeping everything together, you know, just throwing guests on just because. Just do. Heck, I don't think we would have done the Twitch thing if it wasn't for my suggestion of, hey, you know, we're already got the video, you know, we're already seeing each other. Why don't we just put it somewhere.
Yeah. I agree. So it is a show that's gone on for far too long.
No,
we'll continue doing it until we die.
Well, whether it's a podcast or not, we do this so we can talk to each other.
Yeah.
We happen to talk to other people. It's cool too. If they want a piece of, if they want to be the fly on our wall, the fly on the corner of our wall, listening to three friends just talk about random shit, not noticing the spider coming up to devour it.
That's correct.
I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this show, and I'm kind of happy we continue to do with people we have now, with our guests and hosts, and that's why we continue to bring people on. And I'm glad that there are people that like to listen to us still. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm happy that we've been going for this long and hope to continue going.
I know we've grabbed a couple people from Twitch. Got them from Twitch. They jumped in our Discord, and they're like, "Hey, you're when are you recording next?"
Yeah.
Twitch has been cool. Like it's been pretty random, but like every once in a while, we'll get like a few people to show up, and makes it a lot more engaging.
It's nice to have that, and it's nice too as an audience member. Like while recording the podcast, you can go in on Twitch if you're listening live, and send us messages, and we can bring it up comments and things that or people have live questions they want us to talk about on the podcast. It's kind of cool to have. So
it's the closest thing we have to like a phone and guest, like we're a radio show.
Yeah, exactly. So awesome. Thanks everyone for listening for 9 years. It'll be the 10-year spectacular, I suppose, will shadow happen in December, but then officially happen in March of 2011 or 2021. So, with that, I think we can move on to stuff that isn't the history of Born in the 80s.
And we could stop navel gazing and.
Hey, look, we've been here a long time, all right? Like, it makes me feel good to think about the history that we've created. So how about that COVID, huh?
Oh, fucking COVID.
I don't want to wear a mask because masks are for losers.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Have you guys been to a store like recently? Yeah. What's have you noticed a change in like people's attitudes and mask wearing and stuff?
It really depends on the store.
Yeah.
Like, so recently, when I went to speaking of store, I'll talk about this. I went to a car store. A car dealership.
Not a car vending machine?
No. That's Carvana, which I was looking at buying cars from, but I probably last episode was randomly talking about buying cars.
Yes.
In the background. Because I get on tracks and I lose focus. I still do. I feel like I probably have ADHD or something. And my mom said that she thought I had that as a child, but I never was diagnosed. So anyway, sometimes I have a hard time focusing on things. But to focus on this, I bought a car. And at the car shop, I would say they had a sign up front that said, please wear a mask. And every single employee was wearing a mask. And I would say 90% of the people were wearing masks. But there were definitely people that weren't wearing masks. And I don't want to stereotype these people based on the clothing that they were wearing, but they were very lower income, I would say.
Would you say rural?
Maybe rural. I just want to say the guy was like, just had a lot of tattoos, and he was wearing like dirty pants.
So he was a graphic designer.
I mean, he looked like he listened to Joe Rogan. That's what I'm saying. And then his like girlfriend, and then their like mother. All three of them were not wearing masks. And there were two other people that brought food in from like a McDonald's because I think they were probably waiting for their car. They weren't wearing masks either. All young people mostly, but almost everybody else was wearing masks. And then I went to the local Italian deli in Monona here, and I would say 90% of the people wearing masks too. I have a sign outside that says, please wear a mask, but people are going to be dicks anyway and won't. But then I went to the Quick Trip yesterday because I needed milk, and I would say probably about 60% of the people wearing masks. you know, and it just depends. Like, I feel like some people give a shit, some people don't, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm in quite a different area at this point.
Yes, I'm in a very, very liberal area.
Yes. Now, and I've had a couple shifts at GameStop.
Okay.
I mean, I had one shift the day I hit the deer, but I had two shifts this week.
But GameStop
was the deer wearing a mask?
GameStop's still only doing curbside pickup, right? Of course.
Nope. 5 in the store. 5.
Okay, well they sell like emergency supplies like bottled water and MREs and stuff, right?
Although I am gonna. We finally actually have been getting stuff.
Really?
Finally. But that being said, first of all, I would say, I lost my train of thought, but it's fine. I would say about only 20% of people are coming into GameStop wearing a mask. And the Walmart that's nearby, I would say maybe 15% of people are wearing masks. And
Walmart is by
masks,
far the worst for me, too.
For people who are wearing masks, about 20% of them are wearing it wrong.
Yeah.
Whether it's the leaving the nose out.
I see a lot of people just like with masks around their chin, you know? Yeah. It's like, what is the fucking point?
Or like the people who will like have the mask on right and then pull the mask down to talk.
Yeah. It's like, that's what it's supposed to block. It's a spit shield, you idiot. Hey, guys, don't be mask shamers, okay?
No, I will, because it's literally causing economic collapse.
There's a person
and
who
death.
I ended up covering a partial shift today, and there's a person who came into the GameStop today basically wearing an anti-COVID t-shirt. Let me rephrase this.
No.
It was a COVID t-shirt making fun of people who believe COVID is a real thing.
What was it saying?
It really just said COVID. The O kind of looked like a virus, and the C had like a snake or something around it. It was probably something like "Don't believe the hype," but it was because I think he was also wearing a blue line hat.
Oh God! So you know what is also insane about this is that we've already started to see the fucking like turn in the Republican establishment of COVID, of people realizing like, oh, it isn't a fucking hoax because we're having a second wave now of infections because people weren't following the basicest easy guidelines of wearing masks and social distancing. And now we're having, terrible economic problems again with lots of places having to shut down. And they're realizing that maybe we should actually fucking listen and wear masks and do things because it's making things worse. And you're starting to see like the Republican leadership change their stances a little bit about masks.
This is something
because bottom line, all they care about is money,
right?
And this is costing them money now.
Well, and
because their thought was we can ignore it and it'll go away and we'll still make lots of money. But now, since like I said, if you ignore it, the economic problems are only going to get worse if we just let it keep going. And that's what's happening. And now they're like, well, maybe we should actually do something about it.
Well, and like this is something I've been wondering, like, since it started getting politicized. Like, if you politicize this, then you're going to have disproportionate infection rates and therefore death rates based on political ideology. Yeah. And so eventually it comes down to like, oh shit, we're killing our supporters off and we need them to vote for us. Like, there's no end game in like trying to downplay this.
Yeah, no, it's true. And if you look at some of the highest infection rates are in states that are heavily Republican controlled.
Yeah. And so like
those are the people that were downplaying the effects.
I haven't seen detailed enough information about that to know whether it's like state level, like restrictions being looser in those states, or if it like if you're in like a red state and you're more liberal, are you more cautious and stuff like that. It's gonna be like this thing is gonna have a huge effect on like politics moving forward. Not even like mentioning the actual human cost of the thing. It's going to be a fucked up world that we emerge into.
I mean, but part of that is even though the Republican establishment is taking things seriously now, I only listened to what you said 2 months ago, what you told me to think. Their peons are still anti-mask and it's not changed. Just because they're saying, oh, now you should wear a mask, now you should do this, people are actually dying. People aren't. Especially because
and we've had some stories about this on the Discord about like once you have somebody you know personally that gets sick or dies, then you're like, oh shit, it's real. Like the leopards ate my face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's literally what it is.
Well, top Republicans still won't admit anything.
Right.
So we have that. And then secondly, I think I've retweeted, there was a guy who was one of those, don't believe the COVID hype on Facebook. And then like, a month later, he's like, man, I can't breathe. This COVID shit really sucks.
Yeah.
Then talked about being in the hospital and then dying.
Yeah. He died like 3 days after getting diagnosed. Like,
yeah. And I don't care if his political ideology is different. I don't care what his beliefs are. That fucking sucks. That fucking sucks for everyone who dies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like... It's I can see how it'd be easier for somebody to be like, oh well, he made his bed, he should lay it. Like, but then like the friends and family that have to mourn this person, they didn't ask you to do like to risk your life like that. Like, you're hurting more people than just yourself when you do that.
And then at some point you have to think about the responsibility of. I mean, I gotta I can fault people for not using the correct advice and looking. Maybe he was listening to certain radio hosts or watching television programs with certain hosts and getting his information about the virus there and thinking, oh, it actually isn't a big deal. Because that's what these guys are saying to me. And as much as I should say people shouldn't get their news from that. And I can say this to a person who used to be a host on this podcast, but don't get your fucking news from someone. Seek out lots of different sources for news. And that's what I do. I mean, I seriously go to like 20 different news websites to look at shit because I'm like such a news hound, like especially now with COVID, but I was before. And if you limit yourself to one or two outlets, you're going to get a skewed, view of the news. And that's what I think a lot of people have problems with. And I think deaths are literally in the hands of Fox News. I mean, they've caused death. They're literally creating like a horrible plague, by being cavalier about this, and it's going to turn because the math is going to be actually, if we tell people to wear masks, then things are going to slow down and then the economy can get open faster. So let's start switching to saying that because it's just driven by money. It's just, it is idiotic.
And like, I was talking about this with my girlfriend because she used to work in like the health insurance field. And it's like these more conservative populations are usually rural, and rural people are already disproportionately affected by the opioid epidemic. They already have less hospital coverage. It's like, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
whole communities are going to get wiped out from this thing.
Yeah, not only that, but like rural communities also typically have higher rates of the pre-existing conditions that cause higher COVID complications like diabetes and obesity and many of the other health problems because it's an older population generally in the rural areas. So I mean, we're talking about communities that are just going to get just destroyed by this. And it really sucks, and I feel bad about it.
That's why whenever like I hear talk about reopening, it's like we're so far away from that. Like, I don't even know if we're going to be reopened in 2021. Like, it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that it is. Things have turned partially because I don't know if you saw earlier today, but the president visited the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. And he was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So I think it has turned to the point where it's like, we need to do this. Because as a country, if everyone wore masks, like we'd open up faster. And if everyone would decide, maybe I shouldn't go out to the bar this weekend.
Yeah, that's why I don't get like the economic people, why their argument wasn't, let's just go hard for like a couple months and see if we can do it. And then if we can like mostly eradicate it within our borders, then like clamp down on travel. But
and you'll see that's what's happened in a lot of the countries that have had great success against the virus. Because if you think about this virus, when you get it, you are approximately with 99% of the cases infectious for about 2 weeks. So if we were to do 100%, everyone in the U.S., let's set this for like 2 weeks from now. Everyone has to stay in their home for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Only can leave if you have to go to the hospital or something. The virus would be gone because it can't survive if it doesn't have human-to-human transmission. Yeah. That's how viruses work. But we're just allowing it to happen by saying dumb shit. In some ways, I think does the virus have like its own like PR team? Where it's like coming up with all
it's the Republican Party.
Really pro-viral spread activity. All this like, shit that's being said. So it's just like it's idiotic. It's just people are dumb.
Yeah.
Like when you see people say, "Oh, I'm not going to wear a mask," it's like you're literally you're on the side of the virus is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Like I want to side with the virus. Like it's stupid. It's just idiotic. And if you're thinking that way, you're an idiot. Like, there's no way around that.
In Mississippi, the Mississippi State Legislature held an indoor session where politicians defied social distancing and mask wearing guidelines. Now at least 1 in 6 of those lawmakers has COVID, including Lieutenant Governor.
And they're all probably, like, the majority of them are probably in the high-risk age group, right? Like...
Oh, probably.
I don't know. Like... Yeah. What's the end game here? You want to save the economy? Cool. Well, do you have to eat shit for a while and then try to recover from it? You can't just ignore it and then
it just gets worse and worse slowly. Yeah, it's just stupid. Anyway, I hope things are starting to change around. I wanted to say a couple positive things about this because I've been very doom and gloom, but I do want to say that so in hospital treatment, if you look at look at March when people are getting sick, and this is why we said flatten the curve, because in March we didn't know much about it. Now in July we know a lot more about the virus and how it attacks the body. That I think rates of people that have been hospitalized that have died, or survival rates have gone up 67% for hospitalized people.
That's so good.
Treatment is so much better. We have no way have a way to save everybody that gets this. It's still a really novel virus that just, hits some people just in a way that we couldn't predict, where you have people just drop. I mean, it's insane when you hear stories about the virus, when they talk about, there are people that they call them happy hypoxics. When you talk about your blood oxygen levels are typically when you're, healthy around 98 to 100%. But they're talking about, there's people that come into the hospital and they'll get their blood oxygen and they're like 80%, and they're just sitting there on their phone like, hey, I'm fine.
Yeah.
No, you're literally dying right now, but you don't know that because the way the virus is just slowly eating away at your ability to breathe. And so that is something, and I think we shared on the Discords a guy who is flaunting mask requirements ended up getting the virus.
Yeah, that's the same guy TJ was talking about.
Yeah, TJ was talking about, and my thoughts on that were, okay, that's really sad, but also if you're, it's tough to do this if you're a man because it's a very manly thing. I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm fine. I'll get through this. If you are having trouble breathing, you have to go to the doctor or you have to go to the hospital because I guarantee you if that guy would have went to the hospital, he would be alive today. Because supplemental oxygen, he probably died of asphyxiation in his sleep because he couldn't breathe, and it's sad, and it's one of those things that you can. So if you have loved ones or someone who's sick who thinks they're, I can get through this and that, it's just like talk to your doctor about it. Make sure you're getting the care you need because it is just really sad when you see young people. I mean, the guy was 38. You shouldn't be dying.
And ventilators are not, even if you are, quote, recovered. Oh, spider on my bed. Even if you are
here too.
Ventilators are not. Even if you are, quote unquote, recovered. You went to the hospital and recovered. Even the after is not just good.
No,
just because.
Depending on your case, you could have months recovery. Because a lot of people will have. A lot of lung damage that takes a long time to fully recover. And sometimes you can't even fully recover from it. And so you have reduced lung capacity for the rest of your life. And so this is like a really chronic disease that can cause blood clots, give strokes, happens a lot more in that's a way worse complication in older folks who are already predisposed to thrombosis and other things. But that's part of the reason why the recovery has been so much better too, because they've realized the blood clotting effect of the virus. And now the common course is when somebody comes in to be hospitalized, they just give them blood thinners right away.
Yep.
So that they don't end up having strokes and that could have been what that happened to that man at home. Complications to COVID.
Now, do we know if the blood thickening has anything to do with the fact that the virus eats some of your tissue inside your lungs, and then your body fights that off, and basically liquefies your tissue? Are you absorbing that liquid at that point?
No. Well, so what's happening with that is I've watched way too many medical videos about this because I got way into learning about this. Being a hypochondriac, it's kind of one of those things I just want to know as much as I can about it, so I feel like I'm more prepared.
Yeah.
So what happens is SARS-CoV-2, which causes the illness known as COVID-19, is a virus that attacks an ACE2 inhibitor, which is a part of your body. It's in your intestines, it's in your lungs, it's in your blood vessels. It's an endothelial cell. Mm-hmm. What that does is that ACE2 receptor site is what is used to convert angiotensin converting enzyme, which is ACE, into it's like AT11. It's another thing. And so what happens when that gets stopped, you build up ACE enzymes in your body, which is starts kind of like a chain reaction of what is it called? Inflammation. Okay. And that inflammation causes clotting.
Okay.
That's what's thickening up the blood. So it basically makes your body's natural inflammatory system go out. And that's part of what happens as a response to a virus too, is that's when you get a cut that gets infected, it gets hot and red, and that's inflammation. And so this so not only does the virus cause your body's natural inflammation system to fight it, it also ramps up your body's inflammation system, becomes super powered, which can cause clotting, heavy clotting. Mm-hmm. Because that's what your body knows when there's a cut or something to clot is gets inflamed and red. So it's a real bad thing. So that's why a lot of people, that's why the death rates are down, because we know a lot more about the virus. So, I mean, chances are if you were to get sick with it now, even if you were to get super sick, you have a much better chance of surviving. But it's still really dangerous, and it seems like the summer effects haven't really changed the infect virus spread. I think I was hopeful too that the summer weather would stop the virus's spread, because typically with a lot higher humidity, you have much more. This is why flu is very much seasonal, because it's a virus that spreads through the air. And when you have a lot of humidity in the air, the virus just can't go as far because it's hitting water. And so, I mean, I just assumed that was going to happen, because almost every virus that's transmitted over, through the air is like that. But it looks like there really isn't any benefit.
People should stop spitting in each other's mouths. I know it's fun and we all like to do it, but just stop for a little while.
I usually pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, part of it too could be the fact that everyone, I think what really honestly feels like what happened, especially in this region, was okay, cases started really ramping up. And I think I posted about this in there, because if you look at this from February to June, cases, there were 1,000 cases, and from June to July there's an additional 1,700 cases. Cases have almost doubled in 1 month from the previous 3 months. So I feel like people it got to I don't know, late May, early June, and cases were really low, and people were just we beat this thing, and then we're I don't need to care as much, and the
especially where we are in the Midwest, it's not nearly as dense population wise as the coast. So it's easy to be it's not here. So that's just because it hasn't got a foothold there yet. And now it's getting a foothold on these less populated areas and just fucking them.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. But I don't know. Does anyone else have any other stuff they want to talk about on this?
According to Johns Hopkins, we're at about 134,000 deaths in the U.S. And second place is Brazil with 71,000. So we're almost double.
I do applaud all of the countries that we used to have visa-free travel to, that have basically shut down anyone from the U.S. coming to their countries.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are now the dirty country that nobody wants anyone to come from, because we're all sick.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're one of those shithole countries our president likes to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and just like this COVID, this like the little red circles on this Johns Hopkins map, it's like it's just solid over the United States. We're so fucked.
We're completely covered with it.
We're so fucked.
Yeah. So
you think it's time for a Reddit ships?
I think it is time for a Reddit
yes,
ships.
please.
Okay.
I shared one as well that I wanted to talk about. So let's see yours first.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is from r/relationship advice. My girlfriend, 23 female, is a terrible cook and refuses to learn. What do I do? So, get this. I'm, as I'm looking at this,
I make fun of my wife cooking a little
My
bit.
wife.
I like to cook a lot, and it's like a hobby for me. And she doesn't like cook as much, but she does cook. And so, like, I'm kind of a bad person when it comes to that because I'll like hover a lot and like take over. And I'm kind of bad about that, so I need to step back. And she's actually, fine. She's fine.
Yeah,
she doesn't take it as much as a hobby as I do, but she bakes and stuff too. But like I'm just way into it, So I feel bad, but she's fine. She's a good cook. But I'm assuming this is a way weirder situation based on some of the read.
And I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and even though this is not an Am I the Asshole, let's go ahead and pass judgment as we get to this. So is this guy the asshole? Is the
I love judging
the asshole?
Yes.
Is it both? This
dun, dun.
is all misery vampire shit. We got this. When I first moved in with my girlfriend last month, he reiterates 23 female. She brought along a huge.
They're newly moved in together, so that's like I don't know if you've ever moved in with a female, that you're dating or man that you're dating. I don't want to judge, but like
it's 2020, John.
A significant other that you moved in with.
Gender fluid.
Sometimes there's a little bit of, friction because you're used to living your own way and your own. You might be messier than they are. That so there's
especially if you've been living like without roommates for a while, you get like stuck in your own habits.
Yeah, and so like there's always I'm expecting something like this to come up. A little bit. So yeah. All right, move on.
So when I first moved in with my girlfriend last month, she brought along a huge book of, quote, traditional family recipes.
Oh, okay.
I was excited to try some as she had promised she was a good cook and would make me, quote, something so good I wouldn't even believe it.
Okay. I want to talk about like old family recipes. Fucking awesome. Like I've talked about how recipes are one of the coolest things. And I actually think I shared a YouTube channel called Tasting History.
Oh yes, yeah,
a really cool channel. But it's one of the coolest things is that like when you think about history and with recipes, is that you can look back and think that 100 years ago somebody ate this exact same thing, and we can replicate it. And it's kind of a connection to the past that is more visceral than like a picture or something because you can actually taste it and think what were they thinking when they ate this. So that sounds really cool to me. Like let's get some old family recipes. All right, moving on.
All right,
I'm all
that hasn't been the case.
Oh, okay.
Instead, the last month has been complete chaos.
Okay.
The first night my girlfriend cooked for us, she set the fire alarm off 4 times and served me something like a whole fish covered with raw tomato paste.
Okay.
I would have at least...
She burned fish?
I have no clue.
How can that happen?
I would have at least tried it, but the fish itself was badly burned and the smell put me off.
Oh my god. Okay, so if anyone's ever cooked fish before, you guys ever cook fish on a pan or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Slow, low. It can't be hot because if it's super hot, it's gonna burn on the outside and not cook through. Because fish cooks really fast. When it's hot. So you can't have it too hot because it'll just burn.
That's why you got to do a hard freeze on any fresh fish so that it'll kill off all the nematodes and parasites because it won't cook long enough to do that.
That is also why you should just buy frozen fish if you don't. If you live where we live in the Midwest. You're not going to have it very fresh out here. So you want it to have been frozen at some point. But yes, good point. Exactly. Go ahead, TJ.
Yep. She was definitely angry with me after that and told me that I didn't appreciate the work she'd put in. I told her that I did, but I'd really like it if she tried making something else. We went through her family recipe book together to pick out something.
Good. Oh, good.
But every single recipe in there was either wildly complicated or just as gross. I'm not a picky eater at all, but most dishes required 4 to 5 sticks of butter or just as much oil.
Hell yeah. This sounds
so
good.
So she's Southern.
Yeah, right?
Part of the problem is that her relationship with food is different to mine.
Okay.
Last week, I caught her eating butter from the carton with a spoon.
Oh, okay.
I used to do that as a kid.
When I expressed shock, she shrugged at me and reminded me that some people eat Nutella and peanut butter straight. I can't imagine doing something like this without gagging. Now, I have eaten peanut butter straight. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, peanut butter is good.
And I do know a story of my buddy's dad who saw like a plate full of it was an ice cream scoop of something. He thought it was ice cream, and he took a spoon, took a big bite, and it was just a big scoop of butter.
Yeah.
But
oh my god.
That whipped up butter that you'll get in a scoop at like a diner or whatever. It's very tricky. It does look like ice cream.
Oh my god, that is god.
Yeah, but I like the whipped butter.
Maybe we're gonna ever get to go back to a restaurant again. But you just gave me like the best sense memory of going to, like the original Pancake House. You know, in there's one in Monona, there's one in near Middleton. But like getting that huge fucking pancake, and then they got that whipped butter, and just putting it on top of the pancake and just watching it melt, and then covering it with syrup. Oh.
No, I'm going to start from like a restaurant. We're going to go about 3 clicks down to kind of a Mon Pa diner. Yeah. So like you go there for dinner, and instead of like getting a basket full of dinner rolls, you get a bunch of little pats of butter and like packaged like pretzel sticks and stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love the like the supper clubs in the West where you get like the relish tray. So you get like carrots and like all sorts of other like a coleslaw and the little mini like sesame sticks, like the sesame seed covered bread sticks that you eat. Oh my God.
You got a dude whose whole job, his whole shift is just hanging out at the carving section of the thing.
Oh man, I love
the carving section.
And I really can't wait to be able to go to a restaurant again.
I want to go to a fucking bar. I want to go pay way too much for a drink.
I was about to say, I really never have liked bars, so...
All you guys have to do is make a trip up here, because we got a bar downstairs. We don't have stuff there. You just have to bring some bottles, but we'll make it work.
We could... let's. You know what we should do as like Born in the 80s? Let's do a Born in the 80s virtual bar.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we have webcams, and we can all drink, and it's like we're at a bar.
I mean, we can... there's a video
on pretty soon.
I could add in some like crowd noises to the background.
Yeah, some like clicking glasses and things.
Screw that. We'll just watch esports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put.
No, we won't watch them. It'll be on. It'll be muted.
It'll be on.
I won't be able to look away from it, but I won't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
There's a video I watched
because I won't know what's going on in that.
There's a video I watched for how to set up a simple 5-bottle bar for just get these 5, get these 5 liquors, and then you can just have your mixers in your set.
I've tried doing stuff like that, but then the next day I wake up and the bottles are gone, and I don't know what happened.
Your pants are gone, and the cats are gone.
The cats are on fire.
They're hidden because they wanted to get away from you. Yeah. You got too friendly. Usually
give me a hug. Give me a hug.
I need
a hug.
That's when I get around my dog. I'm like,
hey, Judy. Hey, Judy.
I want to kiss you on your head.
You're a good dog.
It's a good little dog. And then she's like normally really excited, but then she's just kind of like, I'm going to go hide out. Like she doesn't like her crate anymore, but she'll just go in her crate.
She's like, there's something different. I'm going to go wait this out.
Yeah. All right.
So there's one time, can I talk about one thing?
Yeah.
Sorry. When I was drunk with my dog, because I drink alone sometimes.
I was drunk with my dog.
Drunk with my dog.
It's not drinking alone if you get the dog drunk too. No, the name of the podcast is an incomplete history of the podcast.
Oh, there we go.
Born in the 80s, 400 incomplete history. All right, fair enough.
Yep.
But I took my dog out to pee because she pees. We'd take her out to pee before you go to bed, and I peed as well. We had a group. We had a pee in our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can pee on the tree.
Yeah.
my own backyard. My neighbors do look out into our backyard, but when it's dark out at night, nobody can see shit.
Well, you have to remind her that it's your territory.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, this is a bonding experience with me and my dog. We can pee together, free in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love peeing outside.
I pee in my cat's litter boxes to assert dominance.
There was one time when I was leaving work. Oh my god, I'm gonna rant for a second. Let's get off on a tangent.
That's fine.
Here's a hot rant. Okay, the cleaning staff. Not that I care because I work from home basically for the rest of my life now because that's how every job is going to turn into. But the cleaning staff at my work, they come in, near the end of the day, because that's like their thing. They clean the bathrooms first. And so whenever I'm like going to leave work, I'm like, oh, I better hit the bathroom before I go home, before I go on my commute. They're fucking cleaning the bathroom. Clean the bathrooms last. Don't clean them first because people use them right before they go. And so there's one time when I had to pee fucking insanely bad at work. This is at my old job. And I went to the bathroom in our building. They had a cleaning person in it. I went to the other building. There was a cleaning person into it. I went to my secret bathroom, which is like a one-stall bathroom that was like hidden away. Someone was in it. And I was like, I got to fucking go. So I went out to where my car was behind the building. And I just stood behind my car and just pissed. And I had to go. It was just like, this is happening. And I remember that was just like, I really hope there weren't any security cameras or something. So I'm just like behind my car, like just like looking around furtively while I'm like peeing, trying to cover my entire body with my car, from the door, And then another time I peed outside. This is the John's pee outside moments. I remember them because I cherish them. But I was driving back from Adams in Illinois, and I missed a stop. And so when you're like in central Illinois, it's just empty. And I was like, I need to pee, but I didn't want to pull over on the freeway. So I had to find the next exit. And the next exit I said like a restaurant this way, but it was like a mom and pop. It wasn't like a McDonald's. So I was like, whatever, I can probably sneak in there, have a bar. It's like a supper club. I can pee. Went there. The restaurant was burned down. And I talked to him later about that. He's like, oh yeah, they had like a fire out there. And so in their parking lot, I just was like, I just got to pee. And so I just pulled over and peed in their parking lot. There's nobody there. I was like, okay.
My favorite outside pees were in one of the college houses I live in. We were on the second floor.
Yes.
And I could get onto the balcony from my window, so I just pee off the balcony. It was the best.
We did that at your place once, Matt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because there was one. I don't know if we were. Well, I think we were drinking and maybe some other things were happening, but people were in real good spirits. And I think I remember somebody dared someone to go pee off the balcony. And so like all of the guys went to the balcony and we just peed off the balcony.
Hey, Matt, were you at the Regent?
No.
It was close to there, actually. It was on off Regent Street.
Well, the one I'm talking about is an older place that was by the stadium. But yeah.
Okay.
It was just like one of those 3-story houses that got converted to 3-story apartments.
Yep.
I've always thought about I've always fantasized about like peeing out of a window, like having to go and then just like opening up a window and just peeing out of it. I don't know.
Like being in your car as you drive by.
Being able to just pee wherever.
It's really great.
It's one of the greatest things God gave us. Just the ability to just pee on anything. So
anyway, that being said, when I'm at home, I do always pee sitting down because I like to play Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god.
Oh
yeah.
Now, Matt, you were talking about the litter box earlier, and that reminds me. So it's not
a litter box once.
And it's related to that, John. That reminds me of a real life story of George Clooney. He was rooming with someone. Yeah, he was rooming with someone. And for literal months, every night, his roommate had a cat. Every night, he would clean up the cat litter and like straighten it out as if the cat didn't pee and didn't poop.
Yeah.
And would do it every night. And the guy would always see a clean litter box. Yeah. Never messed up during the day. Thought something was wrong with the cat. Brought the cat in to the vet. And everything seemed fine. It was still still not happening. And then he had come up to George and we're like, I don't know what's wrong with my cat. Something's seriously wrong. And George got really nervous. And that night took the biggest pile of shit himself in the litter box.
So I guess he was just saving it up for a while. He seems
basic. Oh, right. I guess we were talking about bad cooking.
Yes,
somewhere in this.
Yes.
Well, anyway,
and it's the worst situation where she doesn't know she's a bad cook.
Yeah. Last week she made a dish.
How did we get there?
Restaurants.
Eating butter.
Restaurants.
Whipped butter in restaurants.
Hey, do you guys remember restaurants? Wait, no, we can't do that again.
It was restaurants to bars to pissing, and yeah,
that's usually how it goes for me too in the before times.
Yeah. So last week she made a dish where she stuffed whole peppers with mayo filled all the way up, and this was my breaking point.
Wait. So she cut a bell pepper in half, and then filled it with mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm thinking stuffed green peppers.
Yeah,
fine,
but just mayonnaise. Stuffed with mayonnaise.
Yum.
And this was my breaking point. I told her that I didn't think I could eat this, and I would handle most of the cooking from now on.
Uh-huh.
She shut down on me and went to our bedroom, I think to talk to her parents about this all night. I received a text from her mother a few days ago asking me to think of it from my girlfriend's point of view, and by rejecting her cooking, I am rejecting her culture. Our initial agreement was to split cooking 50-50. It doesn't look like that will be an option anymore, but my girlfriend and her whole family are angry at me. I tried asking her if she wants to cook together or go to classes, but she refuses. Is there any coming back from this?
Okay, so before the mom text, I would have said she's trying to get you to do all the cooking by just being so oh, I don't know what went wrong. It's so bad. I guess you should do it from now on.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not it. So
no, yeah.
The only solution that I can see is you're going to have to get some really bad food poisoning. You're going to have to get death's door sick on this shit to the point where she feels really bad about it.
What the hell is, burnt fish with raw tomato paste on it?
Are there any updates on this?
No. I mean, there's some regular comments, but no updates at all.
Okay.
So, this might be a hashtag that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it seems too minor to do that. There's no crazy details.
Yeah. Bell peppers full of mayo is pretty bad, but I think if I was going to make something up, it would be way more extreme than that.
True. Like bell pepper full of ranch.
No, that actually sounds good.
I mean, if you dip in ranch, it's fine.
That Tostitos queso sauce, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'd eat that.
That sounds great. But I don't know. I just think they're not culinarily compatible. That's what it's sounding like.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they say how long they'd been together before they moved in?
No. Just that they just moved in, but
this seems because it seems like she doesn't want to budge on it at all.
And it's definitely a throwaway account because it's user throw RA10197, which a lot of times if you make a throwaway with something like that, you have to enter numbers.
Uh-huh.
The other thing you can do, it's a little bit less honest, but you can get a doctor's note that says you have some sort of dietary restriction and you have to have special meals that are made by you yourself. Oh, I can't eat eggs, so I guess mayo's out.
Let's have an omelet today.
Yeah. Here, I got these special eggs from the dietitian. No, it doesn't work for any of the recipes you do. It only works for this omelet.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, for anyone who's not familiar with Reddit, but a throwaway is just an account that you make, and so you're not linked to your actual Reddit account. But I don't know. Everyone's the asshole here. I think everyone's shitty here.
You think so?
I don't know.
I feel like he could probably have handled it a little better, but it seemed like he was being as diplomatic as he could.
I mean, who fills a pepper with mayonnaise?
Yeah.
calls that food.
I think if anything, she's the asshole because, like, at least through his telling of the story, he was very like, "Oh no, I just like maybe we can work on it together." Blah, blah, blah. But she's just like,
"I'm gonna call my mom to tell you no."
Yeah, she got her mom. He like narked on her with his mom. Like,
I also want to know what culture. Like, what culture is he? Like, Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, listeners, if you know the culture that does a full pepper just full with mayonnaise, go ahead and tell us. Send us an email to bitecast@gmail.com. John, what are you buying right now?
I'm not buying. I have another Reddit chip that I wanted to go over, but I was trying to find that one so that I can, like, see if there's any other comments. Like
it was
the closest thing I can find is like peppers stuffed with chicken salad. That's like mayonnaise.
Like there has to be like sauce on this. Like
John, just click the link from the Twitter DM that I sent you.
It doesn't matter. I've got it here.
Okay.
Here's the number one.
DMs.
Here's the number one. What culture is she from? The U.S.? Yes, although her mother is British. There it is.
Oh,
British cuisine.
But that's not even regular British. That's Northlands. There's no way a Londoner will eat that.
They just eat curry. All the good British food is just not British at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Other than a good meat pie sometimes, like a venison pie.
I'm in the freaking
pies.
I'm in the land of meat pies right now.
Yeah, that's true.
UP's all pasties. Yeah.
I love pasties. Yeah. I'm just looking at like mayo stuff. Oh, somebody's posting I knew this would happen. There's some really good posting from like Southern cuisine, like terrible recipes.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something here. Like,
I used to follow the
Southern Baptist Church.
I used to follow the Twitter account 70s Dinner Party, where they would just post like 70s fancy recipes that were all just like put
trash.
Hot dogs. Like, yeah, it was all from cookbooks that were like sponsored by companies. So they were just like, how many uses can we find for Jell-O?
Yeah.
Make meat Jell-O. It's fancy.
Yeah. They just wanted to use gelatin and everything.
Yeah.
Put Fritos in your lasagna.
Make a hot dog centerpiece. That's a real one.
All right, here we go. I've got another food-related one that I wanted to go over. This is another Reddit chip. So where's the bell? I didn't hear the bell before.
I did the bell.
Yay! I just like the bell so much.
Yeah.
Here we are, boys. My 25F boyfriend, 25M, keeps asking me to invest in his, quote, soup tube business idea. And I'm not sure how to deal with it.
Oh, no.
This is also from a throwaway.
Okay, well, hold on. Because if this is a special straw for eating soup, I might be down.
No.
I'm already put off because it's, hey, invest in my business. We're not married yet. But go on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to invest after this. But let's see here. I have been living with my boyfriend for about 7 months. 2 weeks ago, he sat me down and presented a PowerPoint presentation. I love that this has a PowerPoint presentation with this business idea. I knew he'd been working on an idea, and he didn't want to tell me about it until it was finished. Based on his enthusiasm and his prior seemingly intelligent nature, oh boy, I thought maybe it'd be a pretty cool idea. This is funny too because if this guy's on Reddit, she's outed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because this is such a unique idea. But
yeah.
Anyway. Instead, he presented me an idea about, quote, soup tubes. The idea, if you can call it that, is to construct a series of tubes throughout our city that leads to a centralized soup kitchen. For a monthly subscription, a customer can subscribe to a tube of soup, and a tube extension would be built off the nearest mainline soup tube and directly into the customer's apartment or home. Based on the subscription level, it would determine the quantity of a soup a customer could pour and how many types of soup. The tubes, quote, are basically the size of pipes you might see under a sink. Instead, he insisted it must be called soup tube, not soup pipe, because tube zings better.
Yeah, that is true.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. At first, I asked if he was crank yanking me or something, but he was completely sincere. Obviously, the idea is completely insane. The notion that the city would authorize someone to construct a series of tubes everywhere, the internet, that could carry soup into the home is, of course, ludicrous. And even if such an initiative were approved, the cost for such an operation would be ridiculous. You'd have to charge outrageous prices for customers to install and subscribe to a soup tube. And who would pay for such a service when canned soup costs like $1 or $2, or you can buy soup from a restaurant for a few dollars? I explained these things as politely as I could, but he dismissed them and said that the tube-based soup delivery is a wave of the future.
Okay, so here's the thing that she didn't mention. When you turn on your water faucet, it doesn't send a signal to the water company to shoot some water at you. So there's just going to be miles and miles of stagnant cold soup sitting in these pipes.
Yeah.
When you turn on the spigot.
This is also true. It's a good point, because the way that water pressure works when you live in a city is that there's these giant things called water tower where water is held up. Yes. So water is held up in this really high, area, in a tower, so that it's causing pressure on all of the pipes, so that when you turn a tap open, the pressure forces, the water through the pipes into your home.
I think you can work around this, though, because we get hot water. How do we do that? Water heater. What do we need? Soup heater. Every basement in America needs a soup heater.
A soup heater.
And we could do it just like the water heater, where you have to add salt every once in a while to taste.
He then asked me how much I wanted to invest. I told him nothing, and he looked absolutely heartbroken. Since then, almost every day, he has asked again for me to invest, and keeps trying to sell me on the idea. He's also doing the same to a lot of his friends. It's starting to drive me up the wall. First, I'm at a loss as to how he can believe such a stupid idea is worthwhile. Second, it is really goddamn annoying to be asked on a daily basis to invest in a system of soup tubes. And third, I'm concerned for his sanity. Other than his apparent obsession with this, though, they've shown no other signs.
She did forget to mention her boyfriend was a 8-year-old boy.
I would like some advice on how I can reason with him, or whether I should even continue with this relationship. Oh my god! I've got some great comments here. We've got from Open Source on Twitter. Food 200, data 150, rent 800, soup tube 3,600, utility 150. Someone who is good at the economy, please help me budget this. My family is drowning in soup.
Oh, that was just like a Twitter thing I just saw like a week ago. Oh, get rid of the soup. Like everything except that.
Yeah.
All right, here's some other things. Here's some questions.
So, John, hold on. You've been doing food deliveries in the COVID times. If you were going to get Target to deliver you a bunch of soup, maybe a crate of 12 cans of soup, how close would that be to constructing entire infrastructure for soup tubes?
What do you mean?
And monetarily wise,
I can't even imagine.
If he can come in under that price, I think then we're talking soup tubes.
Oh, the post was removed by moderators. Is it fake?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be. Nobody's this dumb.
Soup tube.
But I do appreciate the comedy we got out of it.
No, this was removed. Here we go. This was removed by one of the mods from our relationships. Edit, rare reason to disclosure for me, but the thread was specifically removed due to a heightened doxing risk from the Reddit ship's readers. Not much we can do since Reddit ships posted screenshots of the thread. So if you'd like the thread removed from the Twitter account, please feel free to file a DMCA complaint against them. Our thread is removal is pretty useless as long as that's up, but we still got to do whatever when there's a likely doxing risk. I mean, it is so insane to think that this could work. I want to say that I love this world that this guy's living in, where he can think that could possibly happen. But how do you clean a tube? Because you're going to switch between soups.
Do you think her boyfriend's Elon Musk? I think it might be.
No, you gotta have multiple systems. See, I would support the condiment tubes before I would do the soup tubes. Just...
I would support just pneumatic tubes, and then you can deliver whatever you want.
Oh, there you go.
If we're gonna abolish the post office, then we could just have pneumatic tubes everywhere.
They're not going to pneumatic the rural areas up here, though.
No, it'll be like donkey powered or something.
All those people up in those rural areas are really missing out on this awesome soup tube. You can't get a pipe. You can't get piping hot clam chowder in your house at any time of the day.
They have more like a soup well, which actually tastes better, but it's a pain in the ass to get to. You know.
Yeah, got to get that ground soup.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got one of these things.
Wait, one more thing. You can use the waste soup, the excess soup, for fracking, so it pays for itself.
I love that idea. Oh my god! All right, I've got a Reddit ship that we can answer in one question.
Okay.
Would it be creepy and weird if I, 22M, were to send a letter to a cute girl I deliver food to?
Yes.
Yes.
You could have stopped that after M. Like, would it be creepy if I, 22M? Yes. If you're asking Reddit, yes.
I like this too. Anyways, all I know is her first name and where she lives. I know I sound like a serial killer, but I am not. Probably not the greatest sentence to start off your posts.
Like, this sort of thing is possible, but you have to, one, be attractive, and two, good at like small talk and flirting, and you have to do it that way instead of just sending a letter out of nowhere.
If you're gonna send a letter, I would go with the letter G. That's a fucking sexy letter.
Yeah. Or A. That's a scandalous one.
Ooh.
A scarlet letter. Are there any good comments on that one?
Oh, comments on the terrible one.
Yeah.
The soup tube one is really good. Not a lot of comments on that one, but
goddamn soup tube.
Here we go.
I can't stop thinking of soup tubes now.
Here it is. From the post about the sending a letter to a cute girl I deliver to. Thanks everyone for your advice. You all make very valid points. I'm 100% not going to send anything, even though there could be like a 0.00001 chance it would work. It's not worth making someone feel unsafe and creeped out, potentially losing my job, or even get a police report written about me. So at least he's like, okay. But honestly, it could be really easy to do. Like, not like it wouldn't be that creepy if you just were like.
You just can't do it from a letter. There has to be some like face to face.
You would just be like, hey, I deliver here all the time. Once this craziness is over, you want to go get coffee or something? I think it'd be cool. And she'd say no, and you're like, all right, that's fine. Like, that's the way you have to do. But the letter makes like you put a lot of effort into this, and we're thinking about it for a while. So, I have another one that I was going to read, but I'm not going to read because it's terrifying. But I'm going to read just the sentence that starts it. I-31F caught my husband, 37M, pleasuring himself while secretly watching our tenant, 26F.
Oh.
Yikes. That's a yikes for me, dog.
There's like really, really yikesy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't have any comedy. Just don't do that.
That's what I was saying. I didn't want to read any more details other than it was awful. Anyway, so that's fun. Here's another good one. Here's another. Guys suck. Just one. I got my period on a weekend getaway with my boyfriend, and he got mad at me. Told me I should just hold it in.
God damn it.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if it was a camping getaway, then they do have to worry about bears.
Anyway, that's all I have for the Reddit chips. And do we have anything else for this episode?
We could, but I think we've been long enough.
We can't do our Bite book club this week.
No, Really
okay.
can't.
I mean, even
I'm gonna watch some more shit though. So it's next week is gonna be through the end of the season.
No. We'll still. I want to keep it on the par. Well, no, we could do that. Is that okay, TJ?
Do what?
We just do the next week episode as the rest of the season?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Wait, would people know that? Oh, we can just post on the Discord. So if you're following along, it'll be the rest of the season. So that'll be episodes. What did we watch for this week?
11 through 15.
11 through 15. So it'll be episodes 11 through 20.
No, it is 15.
It is 15, Matt. Come on.
But on Netflix's
on
numbering,
Netflix's episode
14.
like 14.
Yeah.
So,
Netflix combined things, and their numberings doesn't matter.
Yeah. But all you need to know is watch till the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Dude, SoupTube is the coolest fucking shit.
Yeah. we do have a SoupTube command in the chat now. So.
Thank you.
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Dude, I just want to like talk about that SoupTube idea for the rest of my life.
God damn it.
No,
I feel like I understand the allure. I feel like we can make this work. Like there's got to be a way to make SoupTube work.
I know. Just a centralized soup distributor. I want it.
I might be bringing my podcast rig here downstairs next week because there'll be a lot of people here.
Why?
My wife and kids will be coming up to visit.
Wife.
Oh.
Or they'll all be on the podcast. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Either way.
All right.
I mean, I know two of them have watched this Avatar like 1 million times. So.
But they're going to spoil things because they're children. They don't know how to keep their mouths shut.
Children are dumb and they're full of soup.
Kids are stupid. I'm going to r/child free right now.
My oldest one is 14, and I agree with you. My next oldest one's 11. She probably won't spoil.
All right, let's see here. r/child free.
We can become one of those like child exploitation YouTube channels, like that kid that opens shit.
Oh, I didn't know that was the direction you were going to go. Because remember, I started this podcast trying to sell you one of my daughters for $5.
Oh yeah, I don't want to. No, I want to make money off of your kids. I don't want to pay for them.
Okay,
get that sweet YouTube Kids ad revenue.
Matt, do you know what this child-free term called bingo is?
No.
Everyone's like using it as like a verb.
No.
Most of the bingos.
No, that would be a noun. Bingos. Is it?
Oh wait,
used
no bingos.
Is it used like derisively? Like
what we call bingo for short. I'm finding out what bingo's term
baby
is.
In
no
green.
Well, okay, here we go. What is bingo or being bingoed? Cliche phrases parents say in an effort to convince the child their decision is wrong, that they're shrinking their societal duty by not reproducing. These statements include or are not limited to, it's different when it's your own child. You'll forget all about the pain of labor. Who will take care of you when you're old? What if your parents had decided not to have kids? All these things. So it's just like, in short, its response is given with the assumption there's only one way to live and be happy by having children, and others' life experience should dictate how we feel about our own personal choices. The child rearing trumps all and everything above life. It's called bingo because one could fill a bingo card with these responses to the child-free choice. So if you mention child freedom and someone...
Yeah, but a bingo card's only like a 5x5 grid, so that's not actually that many. It's only 25.
I also think that like these are just like people... But like people are just using this like bingos. Like, is it that much of an offense that someone brings up some sort of like, I guess,
I will say there are certain like parents that are like,
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Constant
but
about
I feel like some people are just like, I'm being attacked by someone like asking me a question that's like, I don't know about that. Like, you know what I mean? And also like this person saying, I don't want my vagina ripping in half, but thank you for reminding me how I live my life. 21F. You're 21, man. Like, talk to me when you're 30. Like, because I've been watching that show, 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, God damn it.
And you get some insane... I'm on season 3, I think, right now. But you get, like... There's a guy in this season who's 58 dating a 19-year-old from the Philippines.
And I know that one.
And he's got all these problems with her, you know, because she's a fucking teenager. And it's like when you're 19 or 21, you like your mind is not like we're like I need to have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I definitely didn't.
Ooh, your brain's not even fully formed until like 25.
Exactly. But like once you get into like your 30s, you're like, you know, like would it be bad? No, your mind changes. Like,
or you're like, nope, I still like cats better.
People shouldn't be pushing on that, but like going into like some sort of like, I don't know, people that I guess I just hate people that get way too into something. And like someone who's like way into like child free and is on their Reddit all the time for it. It's like, maybe you shouldn't just be super into this and just make it your life choice not to have kids, because I think people respect that generally. And yeah, you can bitch about the 2 or 3 people you meet every year that give you a hard time about it, but it's definitely not going to be that many people. Like, you know, we don't have any kids and we have friends that have kids and maybe we'll have kids someday, but it's just like, I don't hear that much pressure from other than my mom being like, hey, we should have some grandkids. That's about it.
Wait,
like, you know what I mean?
You guys know people who have kids?
Yeah.
Like who?
Like TJ.
There's this
TJ is always hounding me. He's like,
there's this guy who streams Final Fantasy, and his name is May of May.
Oh, it's fucking dick.
Kids. Yeah, what an asshole.
I think that's his Twitter handle too, May of May.
Yeah, it's real_Lance_man.
John, you should make a fake _Lance man Twitter and just post a bunch of liberal shit and use like the same avatar and stuff.
Same avatar. Oh, you send me a DMCA. I like that he retweeted a tweet from Antonio Sabato Jr. today.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's like an actor who I guess can't work now because he said he's like super Republican. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it has nothing to do with his political ideology. He's just a dick to be in a room around so he doesn't get hired. Cool. We call that Tim Allening.
Just so you know, an hour ago he posted last 4 letters of American, I can. Last 4 letters of Republican, I can. Last 4 letters of Democrats, rats. Damn, really got him there, son.
And, you know, it makes sense because he pluralized Democrats to make it work. Otherwise, it would be crap.
But the retweet is, have a blessed weekend and remember to keep Jesus Christ first.
When did he get so religious?
I don't think he is. What's happening?
Are we being trolled? Is this just like an elaborate prank?
Troll. Anyway,
the website is bornintheeighties.net. You can find previous episodes there. I'm John_Danger on the Hell website, twitter.com.
You can find me at May of May 84 on Twitter. I post a lot of cat memes and anime waifus.
Trump's campaign appears to believe he's won the election by putting on a mask, which raises the question of why they resisted this tactically brilliant move until after 133,000 people died.
Is that a tweet that Lance did, or what?
No, that's just a tweet that somebody posted because there's a bunch of like Republican, what do they call them? Like not figureheads. What is it? Talking heads. That's it.
Yeah.
Posting about like, haha, Joe Biden's finished. Like, way to wear a mask, sir. Like, and it's like, I'm glad 133,000 people had to die before you decided it was time to put the mask on.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm on twitter.com or the website's bornintheeighties.net. Maybe I'll write more of a column, but I was going to do that weekly, and then things have really gotten fucking crazy in the last month, and
look, we at the beginning of quarantine, we all had big plans. We were all going to start eating healthy, getting in shape, accomplishing all of our side projects. And we all know how that turned out, right, guys?
All I got was horny, so I don't know. I don't know about you guys.
I'm going to cut into a bunch of shit like cakes, but there's secretly cakes inside, and then I'm going to post it to a million views on the internet. There's a really good video I'm going to retweet that's just like a fucking parody of this, and somebody's like eating a bowl of mac and cheese, and then it's just cake underneath.
There's also a video of an older Japanese game show where somebody's in a room and something's made out of chocolate, but you can only tell by testing it with your teeth.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed weekend and keep Satan in your heart.
So in the About Us page in the bornintheeighties.net site,
it's still incredibly out of date.
It's still John, Adam, and Lance.
Ooh, let's change that.
John Danger is a regular contributor. You can find his Twitter feed here. Adam, Eagle Eyes One Take, is a friend, cohort, benefactor, designer of the website and co-host of Born in the 80s, podcast about nothing, and linked to lay Twitter. And then Lance Angry Man is a friend / co-host of the Premier Party podcast Born in the 80s.
Well, he's still angry.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
He's just angry at women and minorities now.
Yeah. Well, he probably was back then too. He's just more vocal about it now.
All right, let's about. Was it about? I'm gonna edit that page right now.
Yep.
That was published in 2009 originally.
Oh, that is the.
At least we don't have a link to his Twitter on here. All right.
Well, yeah,
so
he didn't have one then.
All right, so let's see. Okay, who else do we have here? We got. I'll leave Adam on there just because I'll call him a founder.
Yep.
Credit him as the ghost of Adam.
Founder of the website and occasional co-host. Lance will be completely expunged from the website.
I believe the term is canceled.
Oh yes, it's been canceled. All right, so we got we'll do Matt because Matt was next. Matt, what's your nickname?
Matt, clever nickname, Hag.
Matt, unemployed.
Fuck you. I'm not unemployed. I'm just differently employed.
You've been employed for longer than you've been unemployed on the podcast, so I guess that'd be unfair to call you that.
You could say Matt Haig has a tiny piano and a 12-inch pianist.
Okay. So it's Matt, I make music occasionally.
Matt, I used to make music. Hag.
Hey, you're
I'm gonna put our last names on here because I didn't for me either.
Well, mine's kind of obvious. But Matt, your Legend of Zelda Overworld theme has been showing up in my feed lately. So.
Oh, really? On YouTube?
Yep.
Nice. I'll have to. I wonder if it's been getting plays.
Just probably me. And since I have YouTube Red, you get more from that than if I was just a random person.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. I haven't looked at the YouTube Analytics app for a long time.
I think I need about 30 more bucks on Twitch before I get my first payout. But payouts on Twitch are more speedy now.
Alright, so we've got Matt, I make music occasionally. Hag has joined the ranks of hosting, continues to do weird shit with electronics in his home, hoping not to get evicted.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
TJ, Teeth Time May.
Teeth Time?
Or is it Tooth Tails May continues to seek dental care and will not stop talking about Kingdom Hearts and Persona in that order. Okay. And then I should do one for Spanky too. So this is good. We're updating the website now for the new thing. I updated the Spanky
Spanky
is
works.
a ghost. Spanky has
Spanky, all video games suck.
All video games are bad.
Or no, just all games are bad.
All games are bad.
Yeah, do that, and then do last name redacted in brackets.
Okay.
His first name's not even... Yeah.
He's now a proud homeowner and looks forward to his neoliberal future as a and is a sometimes co-host podcast. That's it. Oh fuck! I gotta get my Songflower buff. Just a minute, boys.
All right.
Well, I gotta have it for tomorrow, or else they'll bench me.
That being said,
making you very difficult to drink stuff.
Should we? Should part of this 400
I was hoping to get more people on the 400th episode. Probably should have notified people during the week that it was happening.
Yeah. We'll do a whole thing for 1,000.
Yeah. We'll be there for the 1,000th episode.
Should we read our viewer mail?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Everyone is I hate getting the Songflower buff by the flight point in Felwood, because everybody is fucking just always crowded around it and fucking zipping around and getting in front of your mouse to click.
Mm-hmm.
It's guys, just fucking chill out. Stop! Don't stand in front of me, you bitch. I've been waiting here for 25 minutes. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be ready to click, should be ready to click, should be ready to click. Alright, spammed it. Give me that. Got it, baby!
Congratulations.
Time to log out. Now, Matt, you said you have a heart to drop tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that tomorrow? I think your voice is way too loud, I'm gonna say. I haven't gotten on Twitch yet.
It matters how output's on Twitch, though.
Yeah.
On Matt's side.
That is also true.
Yeah.
John, you can always just turn him down for your ears. I might have to do the same.
Alright. Sorry, I'm on Twitch now, so let's get levels. Let's get this started, because it's already 8:30.
Yep.
Yeah, let's...
Without Spanky, we probably won't go 2 hours, so... He's the new Lance.
In every single way.
In the fact that he talks a lot, whereas Lance also talked a lot and made the podcast run long. I also talk a lot, too, so...
No.
Alright, I gotta switch Discord's volume off so I can only hear Twitch, and then we'll do levels. Alright, sound good. I don't know what was happening last week where you were too loud, but now you're loud in my ears on here, but on the Twitch we all sound the same now, so.
That's OBS.
Boosted?
I don't think so. Let's just check to see. You all sound loud to me on here, but I can turn it down.
Yeah, that sounds like a you thing.
But yeah, exactly. But when I listen to the Twitch stream, we all sound level now, so.
Well, yeah, from OBS, his mic comes through separately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't run through a virtual audio port anymore, do you?
Well, I run through Ableton Live, and that outputs separate signals to Discord and OBS.
But it's still different than your
my
desktop
webcam
audio.
is closer to center, but I can't. If I put it there, it covers up part of the screen.
Why are you whining?
That would be probably more center, right? Actually,
That's all right.
There to be the most center.
That actually looks fine. That's actually a nice angle. I like it.
Yeah, the only problem with this is that the camera is now covering up the top of my screen because there's basically no bezel on this screen.
Yeah.
So
I just have my camera on a little gooseneck, so it's like in front of the bottom part of the screen.
This is just the 720p camera that's in my laptop, so.
And it works.
Yep.
That's okay. I can move it. I'll just have it up for the podcast like this, and then I can move it to the side on my other screen, which has the bezel. Or I could probably just... Matt, actually, make a request. You could make a little clip for this to go on the top of my monitor. Can you design and fabricate that for me, please? Thank you.
I could, but I would need like a bunch of measurements from you.
I want to get my digits, eh?
That's reasonable.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.